The sexiest thing you can do is cultivate a sense of mystery.
I have one ally in the room and it's not Hunter.
I watched that movie like a pig in slop.
I don't know if that's a brag or not, but I'll circle back. I have to ask a few lesbians and I'll let you know.
I feel like when you're an oversharer, that's not demure.
Yeah. Many of her looks have stopped me in my tracks and not in a good way.
I missed her old nose. Let's hold space for that. Power to the people.
Demure enough. That one passes.
Me and Tree Payne, the white redhead woman? Are you being serious?
Go to LA if you want to meet a mean person, actually.
Isn't this New York Magazine? I thought you guys were supposed to be classy.
Hunter, it's hard to be a bitch that believes in love these days, especially when all I have are gay sluts and straight people who don't believe in marriage. What am I supposed to do with that? When I want to go to a fucking wedding. Just one. Hunter brags all the time about like spending every weekend upstate at a new wedding. Or you're in North Carolina all of a sudden. Oh, you're in Vermont. Fuck you.
I've never been to Vermont, just to be clear. So I don't know where you're getting that.
You should.
You haven't been invited to the wedding because you don't want to go for the right reasons. You've never been called in. That's why. Because you want to go for all the wrong reasons. You want to take a photo. You want to serve an outfit.
Yeah.
You want to make a scene in a speech.
Once or twice.
And that's not what weddings are about.
What are they about? Love?
No. I haven't decided yet, but once I do, I'll let you know.
I'm trying. I'm holding for it. I will say, though, readers is what I was about to say. Listeners, if you will, my luck has changed. I've, breaking news, not only been invited to my first capital W wedding, not like a family wedding, like a dear friend wedding. I'm not just invited to the wedding. I'm in the wedding. Bridesmaids alert.
That's so crazy. I just heard your bank account go to zero. I just heard Chase send you an alert. You have no money left in your account. Yeah. Because being a bridesmaid is expensive. I've never been one, but I did just read something in the cut about how one bridesmaid had to spend so much money on a dress, on the trip, on the goodies for the trip, on the makeup, all of this stuff.
I mean, it is a destination wedding. There is a bachelorette trip coming up, and I've ordered at least 6 dresses in order to find one that works. So yeah, there is fraud on my account. If Chase Bank is watching this, it wasn't me. Refund me.
I swear Essence, the website, is behind every wedding invitation I get because I go Essence down. I'm scrolling. Even Andrew is oh, how many more dresses do you have to look through today?
And you're
find something to wear.
It's held at customs because you ordered way too much. That happens actually. If you order over $1,000, it gets held at customs. I found that out the hard way.
That's weird that Canada would go so hard.
I know.
Isn't that where every Essence order comes from?
Yes, it does. And I mean, I will say I'm kind of lucky because the bridesmaid's dress is black. So I can reuse that, reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's what you think. And that's what everyone says. But I've never seen anyone wear a bridesmaid's dress to another wedding and it not look like a bridesmaid's dress.
Okay, see, that's why, and I actually wanted to ask you, professional wedding goer, can I wear Rick Owens to a wedding? Is that ethical?
It depends. And it also depends on what type of friend, how you know them.
Yeah.
If it's a New York wedding or an LA wedding, I think yes. But if it's I don't know if you have any friends from Dallas. So I don't know if this is even relevant to you. So
not
yet. Go ahead.
I think you're my only non-coastal. That's not true. And that makes me
no.
look bad.
Go ahead.
Oh my god. No. I take it all back. I love all people.
Nepo baby number one right here. Never getting the allegations.
I actually sat up in a very Kamala Harris way, being no, all people are great. Hold on. I don't want to ruin my public platform. But I will say I'm trying to find a bridge between a dress that is still serving cunt, of course. I want to look at the photos and be oh, the bridesmaids. Ooh, and who's that bridesmaid? That's what I need. I need someone to stop and stare.
Are you going to go with a cutout? Or are you going to go with a low back? Or
don't
do too much cleavage. I hate when people do too much cleavage at a wedding. It's too much. I'm sorry.
No
offense. It's too much.
I have E cups. I think even if I went the slightest V, it would be whore. That's what happens when you have big boobs. A little bit of tit and it becomes a really big deal. But I'm going off the shoulder mount. My clavicles are my selling point. My strongest asset are my clavicles. But then I'm giving thigh high cut. Maybe too high. Pussy might be out if I drop it too low.
Okay, I I just want to warn you, there are like elderly people at weddings.
Oh, shoot.
Like, I know you're not thinking about that
I'm
yet,
never
but I
thinking
just
about
want to
old
let you know,
people.
like, there are generally elderly people at weddings. And not that you should change, not to dim your inner light,
Yeah.
but just something to consider. And there are also like sometimes babies at weddings. But that's controversial. I don't want to get into that because some people are very anti-babies at weddings.
I love that this turned into what started as me bragging turned into you being like, sit down, babe. We got to talk, actually. Like, we got to get you prepped. Like,
That's what I'm saying. You don't know what you're getting into.
I have to wonder why it's taking so long for me to be invited to a wedding because I'm an ideal wedding guest. I can put me at any table, uncles, aunts, children. Maybe not the old people, actually. I might upset them. But, like, I can get along with friends from college, friends from high school, random cousins. Like, I can work a room. And yet, my mailbox has been empty.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to know what kind of wedding you get, like, an email invitation for, low-key. Like, it does sound very cool in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But, no, you do kind of have the, like, general mass interest appeal. Not to call, I feel like I'm calling you, like, a whore. But, like,
Not no. Not no.
No,
if you want me to come to your wedding for that reason, we can make something work.
You can be, you can work any room. You can work any table. Complimentary.
Thank you. But now's my time to shine, so we'll see. I'm going to get a single black tear speech to match my Rick Owens dress. It'll be hot.
Wow. This is
Watch
this is a real My Best Friend's Wedding reboot that you're pitching me here.
I actually didn't see that. But maybe I'll watch
the Julia Roberts movie? That's why I've been invited to weddings right there.
Wait.
Now we know. Okay. Case closed. It's been settled. That's why you don't know the texts. You don't know the holy text.
No. I need to open.
Have you even seen Rachel getting married?
Yes, of course. Oh my God, of course.
Okay.
I went to Emerson College. I've seen Rachel getting married. Come on. Anne Hathaway's my sister.
We were about to be in a bad place.
What is the Kamala quote? Like, okay, there's some education that needs to be
There's
done.
some learnings that need to happen. There's some education that needs to be done. And that's why that's my favorite Kamala quote, because it really does apply, at least to all of our conversations.
Yeah. How are you?
Listen, I've been good, actually.
Yeah. Any weddings coming up?
No. Actually, that's not true. We have 6 this year. I think we've gone through 3 already, maybe 2 only. Yeah, only 2. That being said, okay, I did have a really crazy dream.
Yeah, tell it to me.
And I know that like other people say they have crazy dreams, but my dreams are like, I think I lucid dream regularly.
I don't know if that's a brag or not, but I'll circle back. I have to ask a few lesbians and I'll let you know.
Okay, so I had a dream that it was like Industry, the HBO show about finance, except it was me. I was the Harper of Industry, but it was set in the WME mailroom. I don't know if I have to say that I'm repped by WME. Is that like a conflict of interest? I don't know.
Hashtag ad. Like, yeah.
But it was like me working the WME mailroom, and I was like trying to like make all these deals, and we were tasked with like my Harper assignment was to like save Justin Bieber's career. And I was like toe to toe fighting with like senior agents, and everyone was like looking at me like she doesn't know anything. And I was like, you don't remember the Justin Bieber cover of One Dance that Drake had buried on the internet because it was going to be too successful. And I was like, that's what we have to release right now. And then someone was like, what if we get like Diddy to do a verse?
Oh.
And I was like, absolutely not.
This is present day?
This was present day
in
my dream that this happened. And I was like, we can't get Diddy because and then I like went into I like texted someone from like on the floor. I don't even know if agencies have like a floor. Yes. I texted someone on the floor and I was like, pull the last 3 Diddy sample or Diddy verses that he's contributed, and you'll see that they're all the exact same. And that's why we can't use him. I was speaking to an audience of agents, so I was like, it can't be on like moral background. It had to be on like real.
They're like,
commerce.
Oh, we don't give a shit about that.
I know. And then what happened? Oh yeah, so then like they declined that, and then instead I was like, what we really need is a verse from The Weeknd, and a Weeknd Justin Bieber verse can save his career. And then I know. Even in dream logic, I was like, this is amazing. And then people were like, you can't do that. And I was like, the Harper of my own life.
Oh my God.
No, it was amazing. I mean, you feel like that all the time because that's your twin.
Well, I actually, now that I've really thought about it, I've not seen you and Tree Payne in the same room. Not once.
Me and Tree Payne, the white redhead woman? Are you being serious?
I am.
No.
Something to sit with.
No.
A tether, if you will.
I am happy that you've given up on me and the Zoe Kravitz allegations.
I haven't. I just tweeted the other day that that's exactly who you are. Because Zoe Kravitz had said like, or there was an interview where Channing Tatum was talking about Zoe Kravitz being like, she don't do shit. All she do is watch some goddamn movies. She just flick up. And I said, Hunter's never beating the allegations.
Wait, that's crazy because when I saw that, I was on my way to a movie. I literally was in an Uber on the way to BAM trying to make it in time to see The Spook Who Sat by the Door, which was so good. Don't make it into a thing like that. Don't make it into a thing like that. It's so good. This is not me being. Anyway, yeah.
I love that dream. Actually, the scariest thing about it is you working a 9 to 5. I'm like, what?
It would be shocking for me to give up my daily uniform of like the tank top that I own 4 different versions of and like a Nike athletic skirt.
To sit in the boardroom and fight for Justin Bieber.
Right. Is that embarrassing? Should I be embarrassed?
No. Someone needs to fight for him. You and Haley got to link and build. Fight for your man.
That's true. He needs us.
Yeah.
This week we're talking about Blake Lively and all things It Ends With Us. We will also get into Love is Blind UK, and we're joined by Sabrina Brier to discuss the ins and outs of being very demure and very mindful.
Things that we are both not. As always, we have a bonus segment that drops every Thursday on Wondery Plus. Tomorrow you can hear us talking about Trump sharing an AI Taylor Swift endorsement. We live in hell. So subscribe to Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts to check that out.
So let me just say this.
Let me say this.
Are you looking for a home for your worst opinions?
Are you a hater first and a lover of pop culture second? Consider this a glorified group chat, but we're not calling you out. No. We're calling you in. It's a safe space
to talk shit.
But of course, from Wondery, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Let Me Say This.
Let me say this.
Let me say this.
No, let me say this.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Blake Lively. And now raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Blake Lively's outfits. Yeah, put that hand higher. And also, like, low-key, raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by the former star of Jane the Virgin.
Oh my God, yeah, he was in that.
And the director of the movie It Ends With Us / also former, like sensitive masculinity podcaster, Justin Baldoni. Yeah, that should be the first red flag. Okay, we have to talk about where all these things converge, which is It Ends With Us, which I saw yesterday.
Yeah. So Hunter and I are going to see it together, but I did that thing where I was hungover and Hunter like takes care of her body and stuff. So like she went to an early screening, I went to a matinee, if you will. But Hunter did text me like right before I saw mine being like, lock in, bitch. You're going to have a time.
I said, buckle the seatbelt. Like, no.
You're like,
it was.
What did you say? You're like, it does get serious, but before it is so deeply unserious.
I kind of had a really good time.
I was laughing out loud.
No, the woman next to me was even laughing out loud.
And I think people went to that theater not to like, they were serious moviegoers and they're ready to be like, okay, we're here to emote and feel. And everyone ended up laughing, being like, you're playing in our face.
Yeah.
You might hear the words laughing and think we're being insensitive, but the thing is, this movie is about domestic violence. It is based off of the novel by Colleen Hoover, bestseller. It follows Lily Bloom, who's a florist, groundbreaking, and her partnership, where she ends up in a domestic abuse situation, and follows, the journey of her as a child, having lived through that with her parents' dynamic, dealing with that now, and opening this floral shop, and then also having another love dynamic with a homeless boy from her youth. Unfortunately, it is a huge, huge mess, and I ran to the theater to see it.
I watched that movie like a pig in slop. Like, I'm sorry, no. It's so unserious. It feels like, absurd to say that this movie about like a very serious topic handles it in the most unserious way possible.
Absolutely.
The thing that's so crazy, which I think from what I've read about the book is a problem with the book as well, that every moment of like her reckoning with like the main character reckoning with domestic abuse is only a part of like this love triangle that takes over most of the narrative, which is between Lily Bloom, her husband, Ryle,
And her high school boyfriend.
Who is now like a chef and this all happens in Boston, of course.
Of course it happens in Boston.
Of course it happens in Boston.
I think maybe that was my first laugh, realizing, oh shit, we're in Boston.
Well, I was
back
like,
again.
It was so crazy because in the first scene, they like, in one of the first scenes, they meet Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni playing like the two leads meet on a rooftop. And I was like, wow, what city is that? It's so ugly. Is that Toronto? And
Worse.
then I was like, no, just kidding. That bridge is too familiar. That's Boston.
Trigger. I actually hate that I'm saying that I laughed so hard, but like truly feet kicking up, giggling, guffawing. When I saw this woman first I think we're introduced to her at the funeral. At some point early in the movie, she's in the funeral. She's wearing both a vest and a blazer. I said, Eileen Shaken, get out of there. Lesbian.
Eileen Shaken. I was going to say.
The L word.
Oh. Okay.
Hunter's, that's the sacred text. So we both have some learning to do here. But when I saw that, I said, oh, wait, maybe she's bi. That's kind of exciting. Maybe I could work with a bi Blake Lively. And then I saw a Carhartt jumpsuit.
But Carhartt jumpsuit and Valentino bag. That's when I had to say, wait, hold on. Where did she get it? And then, of course, you realize that back in Boston, she is friends with Jenny Slate, and Jenny Slate wears Valentino in every single scene, which was shocking.
Yeah.
But that was like the thing that really took me for a loop, is like she's wearing combat boots with Carhartt up and down, plus a Valentino bag, plus a
3C curl wig. The wig, the curl pattern changes every scene. That part is crazy to me. Only a white woman would. Only white women could.
But there's a lot of to-do around this that's not in the movie. The movie is a mess, but also the press tour has been a mess because there's been kind of a series of little, I would say little breakups,
Spats.
breakdowns. Yes. First, the entire cast, or at least the leads, Blake Lively, Jenny Slate, and Colleen Hoover especially, unfollow Justin Baldoni on Instagram. Then there were like rumors that Ryan Reynolds, not rumors, actually, Blake Lively said this herself, that Ryan Reynolds like wrote scenes for like the kind of first meeting scene between Lily Bloom and Ryle, that Ryan Reynolds had like done rewrites on that scene himself. Yeah. And also this took place like during the SAG strike, during the WGA strike. And then this is like what actually is gross to me, that in selling this movie, Blake Lively is kind of ignoring the domestic violence of it all until she was called out for ignoring it. And then she started posting like some statistics and some resources. But otherwise, she's been mostly using it as a vehicle to sell both her new hair care line and her
alcohol, like her, what's called Blake Buzz or something.
Sure. And also just like all those damn ugly outfits.
Yes. See, that's the thing that's pissing me off, is she's trying to treat this like a simple favor press tour where she was like wearing suits to like get into like the character, get you excited. But like, this isn't Barbie. And the video specifically of her saying, get your besties, bring your besties out to the theater, wear your florals and come on out and see it. It's like, that's not the call to action, babe. Like, that's not what we're asking people to do. Granted, I did see in my theater plenty of florals. Many a Doan dress.
Really?
Yes.
Don't bring Doan into this.
Sorry. But it was like so chaotic to witness her being so unserious about something that is so deeply serious and not treating this movie at all with care, even though the movie itself is, as we have said many times, mid. Like, this movie could have just like come and gone. But like, I do think now people are going to see it, and maybe the other half of my theaters who wasn't in florals was there because of the mess around it. Very Don't Worry, Darling core.
Yeah, totally. It really reminds me of like that time in The Relative A Star Is Born when no one had really seen the movie yet, but you just heard about like there's lots of like behind the scenes drama, like are Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga together, or are they like fighting every single day on set? But the difference is that like A Star Is Born was a good movie and this is a bad one.
Yeah. Correct.
A byproduct of all of this that I think is pretty unexpected for what is clearly sort of a vanity project is now a lot of old Blake Lively interviews and quotes and really just like either embarrassing or moments of like actual like kind of mean girl cruelty are resurfacing. The interview with the Norwegian reporter where the woman is like, congratulations on your little bump. And she says,
congratulations on your little bump, when this woman is not pregnant. And on top of it, Blake Lively had already publicly announced that she was pregnant.
Yeah, it's like, was it weird
Yeah.
to, comment on that? Maybe, but also like the reporter did it in good faith. It wasn't like she was trying to like be mean.
Yeah. Spent the rest of the interview not even looking her in the eye. I was like, that's a white woman for sure. That's a capital W white woman.
This also, I'm so happy. It feels like kind of Christmas for me because this brings attention back to one of my favorite magazine quotes of all time, which was Blake. I know, I think about it all the time. It was Blake Lively whenever she had done like the New York Magazine big Gossip Girl cover.
Yeah.
Like that happened like around season 1. And they had asked her about like dating her co-stars because she was clearly dating Penn Badgley during that time.
Yeah.
And she says, and I quote, "Isn't this New York Magazine? I thought you guys were supposed to be classy."
Was that the original? This is not Demure. Not Demure at all. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That line is so funny. And now people are like, wow, has she kind of always been like this?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think like that's kind of what we're finding out in real time is like Blake Lively is breaking out of touch. She just played Serena Vanderwoodson and empowered too many like white girls.
But white women love her down in a way that I will never understand. I mean, can you name like, other than Gossip Girl and so sort of the traveling pants, it's like, what do white women point to about her, like about loving and coveting her life so much?
I mean, I missed her old nose. Let's hold space for that. Power to the people. But I will say, a moment for Blake Lively and Savages. Nope.
No moments for that. Moving along.
Nope.
The other thing is that she's so bad at dressing, but so intensely like defensive of being self-styled.
Yeah.
Like
we know.
Many of her looks have stopped me in my tracks and not in a good way.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about even like the classic ones, even the ones like before people started talking about, oh wow, she like consistently looks pretty cartoonish.
Well, I heard that she helped style some of the outfits for this movie. And I'm like,
I think she styled all of them. A lot of her personal shoe collection was in this movie. Everything looked like she just had put it together. But I think that is like, I think we're seeing the results of someone who's not used to being told no.
She, I think, Googled, what do regular people wear? And then found Carhartt and then just threw that on top of her normal outfits.
Regular people and also
a Tony Soprano ring. Like,
and the meanest girl to work tap desk at an Emerson College dorm. Let me say that.
This is a movie for nurses. This is a movie for nurses. Nurses are mean. Nurses are mean.
My best friend is a nurse. I'm not gonna put that on them.
All right. I'll meet her and I'll let you know.
Let me tell you what I know for sure. We can, giggle and cackle about Blake Lively all we want. But at the end of the day gonna end. No, I'm kidding. What I really am going to say, though, is that this all needs to be wrapped up by the time the sequel to A Simple Favor comes out, because I won't be sitting through 25 tweet threads about like Blake Lively sucking. I won't be, tapping through TikToks about Blake Lively being the most evil person to ever live. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We need to wrap this up by then because I love A Simple Favor down. That movie's so good. And she's also so good in it as like a, mean, murderous, psycho white lady. Because satire.
I love when like mildly annoying white women link up. Anna Kendrick, Blake Lively, get to work, girls. Let's go. Let's go. Let's lock in. In the last 2 weeks, you've likely Googled definition of demure. In the last week or so, you've likely asked yourself, are you being very demure, very mindful? The viral TikTok posted by creator Jules LeBron asks that very important question. And I guess today we might be here to answer it. We'll find out. In the video, Jules goes, see how I come to work? Very demure. I do my makeup. I do my wig. I do a little braid. I flat iron my hair. I do chi-chis out. I do viral vanilla. Very demure. Very mindful. Let's not forget to be demure divas. I love a call to action.
Yeah, and I also love that like the sexiest thing you can do is cultivate a sense of mystery.
Ooh.
And that's kind of what this is giving me. Like, who is she? What does she know? Where is she going? Who is she gonna see?
And more on demure right now, but with us, and speaking of actually being way too online, does the sound mean anything to you? With us today, we have Sabrina Brier, content creator, actress, and comedian, and new friend of the pod. Oh my God, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. I feel like as you're saying that, I'm like, I feel like is not very demure, you know?
Wait, I also love how you did it compared to how Peyton did it. That felt like a slight correction, like a slight tweak.
I thought you did we're stirring things up. I really thought you did it gorgeously.
Thanks, babe.
But I do think it runs the gamut. Like people go really high in their octave for
Wow.
that. And Peyton just like took it up there.
I did.
And we all respect her for it.
Thank you. I have one ally in the room. It's not Hunter.
I'm going to be mediating the whole time.
No,
and I'll be very nervous as I do it because I love you both.
I have a very important question though.
Yes.
In general, are you a lover or a hater?
I think I'm a lover, but I do think my hater, that like little hater inside of me is sometimes like fighting the lover.
Yeah.
Like I think I definitely want to be a lover. I want that.
You and J-Lo both.
Yes. I really want that. I definitely have a lot of love for like people in life and the world around me. But I also think sometimes how much I think about things then sometimes can turn to things I tell myself is hate and then I become a hater. But then I'm like, Sabrina, stop. You're not a hater. So I'm going to say lover.
Okay. Are you a lover or a hater of very demure, very mindful?
I'm a lover. I feel like I always love a trend. I think trends are so beautiful. They bring people together.
Imagine if you're like, oh, I hate the internet. I hate trends.
I was like, I'm not a hater. Oh, I hate demure.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I think I think any trend can get so funny and overused, obviously. I'm sure like
Brat Summer. Sorry,
I know.
Someone had to say
and now
it.
It's gonna be you're like, someone had to say it, and guess what? It was gonna be me. And I think it's funny because with trends, it's like it can go into any category. Like, you know, there's so much complexity there. But overall, I love it. I love the cadence. I also think too, it's like it's kind of also the invention of a new cadence.
Yeah.
Like a new TikTok cadence. Like da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I love that, how that sounds. I love demure.
You're
rolls
saying
off the
something
tongue.
so important, which is
Tell
kind
me.
of actually when we were doing the right? Like it's not just the it's the way you deliver it. It's the tonality. It's sometimes the octave, which allegedly is too high for some people. You can't hop on this trend without considering the way that it is delivered.
You can't just say,
Totally.
demure mindful. No.
No.
Very demure. It's also, it feels like a frustrated mother who's like, you need to behave. Like, I mean, maybe just I've been there.
No. It is Black
I
mom
think
coded.
that kind of like a maternal tone really is a part of the original video because it feels like you know, with the whole like it feels like we're being talked to as the audience. It's like y'all
Like a
are not being
lesson.
demure. You need to, it's like a less. It's didactic.
She is imparting wisdom.
Exactly.
And I love that.
And I'm taking notes.
I'm taking notes.
Every video. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not being demure.
I know.
I mean, do you identify as demure?
No. I feel like when you're an oversharer, that's not demure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not demure, guys.
It feels kind of radical in this like era of oversharing, of like posting, of, you know, 15 slide carousels, whatever, to be like, just kidding. Like you need to like be mindful why you're invited to the section.
Yeah.
You need to cultivate an air of like, je ne sais quoi. Remember it?
I know
love it.
it's interesting how it's like I feel like actually we're in a college lit class right now and we're like taking the words.
We're
and
at Smith
like,
College.
We really are. And we're like, but I do just sort of want to point out that the speaker references mindful almost equally to demure, but we are kind of putting so much more onto demure because it's the first word that comes up. But you can make the argument it's really both. And I feel like mindful is also a really, really interesting take of its own.
Yes, mindful reminds me of like, you know, when you have like that one friend who like she is brand new to everything. I'm like, girl, get it together. Like you need to like
research.
Yes. I'm like, please, like look up the menu before we get there. Like
be mindful.
I don't know.
Be mindful.
Yes. Like I'm sorry, you should have like have your Apple Pay worked out. Like,
Yes.
be mindful.
I know. I'm trying to think of a friend of mine. I actually had a moment with my friend this morning where I had to kind of be like, be mindful. Now we're like really like focusing on that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I literally said to her, I was like, what are our plans for like Labor Day weekend? And she's the type to be like, don't make me make a plan until the day before. And I literally had to say to her, I said, I'm going to move on to I'm going to drop this and move on, because she wasn't being mindful by recognizing people need to make plans.
Yeah.
She's watching me. She's going to be like, she's going to be like, Sabrina, stop.
I love that. I love that.
She's like, we already made the plan. Let it go, girl.
She's like, I gave up. You won.
But
anyways.
do you think that New York is a demure, mindful city?
I think it's definitely, I don't know. It's interesting. I think when you're moving through the city, that's not very mindful. Like when you're moving through the city, people are not physically being mindful of you, right? I think like the chaos of the city is not very mindful, but I think the community, that's one of my takes, is that people say people in New York are mean, but they're so nice.
Yeah.
Like they just have a harsh tone.
Yeah.
They're not friendly, but they're nice.
Exactly.
Go to LA if you want to meet a mean person, actually.
Totally. Yeah, go there.
But
But and so I feel like the community aspect of New York is very mindful. I think people are mindful of each other, like at large, just maybe not like on the subway, like bumping into someone.
No, yeah. The amount of times I've been body checked, I'm like, okay, yep.
You're like, I deserved that for being here.
I wasn't being mindful, actually. Shit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do also think that any city that operates off of like resi or like that's not demure mindful to me. That's like
such a
we're
good
like
point.
going into the Coliseum. This is the arena. We're fighting right now.
Resi?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I play Resi
I
at the
didn't,
slot
I didn't
machine.
see Resi
Like,
coming into the conversation,
yeah,
but I'm
no,
glad
no,
she
but
did.
there's nothing demure about having to have a reservation.
No, there's nothing demure about like that, because it so takes away the whole thing of like, where should we go tonight? But you can't go where should we go tonight in a popular neighborhood in New York. You have to make a reservation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's not very demure.
But is that mindful?
But it's very mindful. And there's a little friction there.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
little friction
Yeah.
there.
And you kind of reach elite status when you're doing both.
Mhm.
Yes.
So a place I've not been
Yes.
locally, but I aspire to be mindful and demure, but I don't know if that's in my future. I don't know if that's in my cards.
So I guess like really what we've kind of come up with as a collective is being demure and mindful. Like you could be one or the other sometimes.
If you're both, you're bisexual.
Trademark that thought.
If you're both, you're bisexual. That's crazy.
So
And that's called having layers.
yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
multifaceted.
What's demure mindful to you?
Oh, I made a list. Yeah, I made
here
a
she
sorry. I was
comes.
doing.
Here she
You know what I
comes.
was doing? You know what I was doing?
Being
mindful.
Being
Being
mindful.
fine.
And
mindful.
that's being mindful.
And the way I'm about to
100%.
the way I'm about to deliver this out, not going to be demure. Let's talk about that. Okay, things that are demure to me. Azealia Banks in that wig and those glasses asking, so what now? In that interview.
Oh,
Um,
yes, totally.
Eating onigiri, owning a coin purse. I know it might sound like it's not mindful, but it's so cute to pull out a little coin purse.
Mhm.
To have change is actually, I think, radical and important. The woman who runs the agency in Emily in Paris, the guns at the Olympics, lip liner, heirloom tomatoes, watching Twilight during the holidays, not Harry Potter, that's not demure, and Paul Mescal's Thighs and the parents in Easy A. That's demure to me.
They're demure?
Yeah. I don't know if they're mindful, but I think they're demure in the way they talk.
I
You know
don't
the mom,
think-
the way the mom talks? When she's like, your dad was gay once for a while. That's demure.
Okay, yes.
I think
Yes,
Hunter's
yes
going
to
she's
demure,
going
yes
through
to demure,
everyone.
yes to
and
demure.
she's
No,
going,
right, yes, I'm
not
like
demure
I'm-
enough. Demure enough, that one passes.
Yeah.
You're
No,
Hunter
Hunter
you're
has
putting me to
notes.
shame. I didn't make a list, really.
Oh.
I wasn't being mindful. I wasn't being demure.
But the way you said that was very demure.
Well,
I
thank
didn't
you.
make it. I apologize on behalf of the community.
That you're too mindful.
And is
Classic.
being too mindful is that not demure?
Whoa, we've gone meta. Wow.
This is
I've
getting
got chills,
really
actually. Hold on.
complicated.
I'm thinking I'm
Zoom in.
thinking.
I've got chills. Yeah. Wait, actually, I wanted to
Yeah,
ask
what's
you,
your-
Hunter.
Yeah.
What's demure to you? And also, are you demure
Mm.
to yourself?
Every day I wake up trying to be demure, and then by 11:35, that's
Mm.
done. It's out the window. It's gone. I've simply been like giggling and cackling, like too
Yeah.
like fingers on
Mhm.
keyboard too much. But I don't know. I feel like demure is like you can only see me when I'm ready to be seen. Like you can't just engage with me. Like Beyonce feels very demure, but Rihanna feels very mindful. I don't know what I meant by that, actually.
I know. I
but I'm
feel
still
like I
kinda
can't
thinking
agree.
it through. I'm thinking it through. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then what's demure?
Or what's not demure?
I feel like now I'm thinking of your guys' list, so I'm thinking of something.
Please,
Like, I feel like
bring it to the space.
putting like I feel like putting your phone on silent mode during the workday is demure.
Oh, do not disturb is so demure.
Right.
And it is
Yeah.
also so mindful.
Mindful to yourself. It's like
to
a self-care.
yourself.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the opposite of mindful toward others.
But I like whenever someone is like always into do not disturb, I'm like, what kind of life is she living? Like where does she have to be? Where is she going?
I will say no one texts back faster than a bitch on Do Not Disturb. There's never not been true. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hunter literally is like, I'll text you being like, she may not get this. And then I was like, oh, nope, she's on her phone right now.
I'm never do not disturb.
You have been. And that's happened before because I thought about tweeting that after I was like, Hunter, that was so fast. Why are you on Do Not Disturb? No way you're in a meeting. Like, anyway,
That's
so.
genius.
Yeah.
No, yeah, okay, that's true. That's true.
People are like, I feel comfortable answering you lightning speed because I know that you know I don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's like the love language. It's like I care about you this much.
Yeah.
This many seconds of texting you back quickly enough.
And guess what? Just because I texted you back quickly for the first text doesn't mean you're gonna get a respond really quickly. A follow up because I'm on silent mode. You know what I mean? It really sets that boundary. The boundary doesn't go away because the notification doesn't go away. It's always there.
It's right
You know,
there.
it's staring at you.
But you know what is very demure, but not
Yes.
at all mindful, is having like 300 unread texts. Whenever someone has like 3 times as many unread texts as I do, I'm like, she's living a life.
No, she's just in a group chat.
I've
That's
been-
it. Too many group chats.
I sometimes don't check
True.
the
It's
chat
not
just so I can-
popularity.
just
It's
so I
just
can-
too many group chats.
Listen, stop the vote. Stop the
Group
vote
chats
then.
are not demure and they're not mindful. I hate a group chat.
Group chats are so chaotic.
Especially for a birthday invite, when you're like, add 40 people in a group chat, you don't have to respond to this. First of all, everyone's gonna heart that message. Now I'm getting a
Yes.
notification for a heart.
No, because if you add me to a group chat with more than one number I don't have saved, I'm leaving. I'm leaving that bitch so quickly. How dare you? We're not even friends anymore.
You've been thrown to the wolves.
not demure, not mindful.
You're like all of these, like it's like I'm surrounded by all these unknown numbers.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel safe.
I feel no, your body language. I feel attacked.
Yeah.
I feel attacked.
You're like I'm in fight or flight.
I have one more thing on that. Particle links, not demure, very mindful.
There's
Not
nothing.
demure.
No, there's
they don't have
nothing.
one
demure.
clean-
I think they're demure.
No, they don't have
think
one
they're
clean
demure?
like layout. It's always like space and a monkey and a thing. Like you can't choose a normal like glitter. Like
Have you been to
can't-
Bushwick? That's what it's like.
Mm.
Those are all the party fools I get too.
It's dragging your ass.
Oh. Oh my god.
Very mindful. Not
Very
demure.
not demure. Very mindful.
No, I'm gonna call it
I've
demure.
never
I'm
seen
gonna call
that
it demure.
before.
Yeah, that death was actually
That
kind
was
of demure.
so dramatic. I loved it.
I will say I'm ready to wrap up this trend. I do want the best for Jules. I want all of her checks cleared. I want her net 30 immediately, deposited. But I think the time is now coming to an end. I think we're coming to a close on demure and mindful. At least give me one more week or Kamala Harris engages.
Oof,
Whatever
Lord
happens
have
first.
mercy.
And then we're done.
Yeah. Just wait until like the DNC demure mindful memes hit. It's gonna be too
No.
much. No,
Eric
no.
Adams is gonna go crazy with demure
He's
and mindful.
gonna love it.
Up in the
Club. He's like being demure and being mindful.
Yeah, in the section. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, Sabrina, thank you so much for joining
Thank you for
us.
having me.
And where can people find you?
People can find me on the internet, like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and just find me there and pre-save my audiobook, you guys. It's out January 28th.
Love. What's it called?
It's called That Friend.
Love.
Love
Yes.
it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
So I was in Greece last week, having the time of my life, but I had to pause on having the time of my life because every ferry trip we took simply paid for like the fastest Wi-Fi so I could watch Love is Blind UK. That's how important it is to me. I took time out of my vacation to watch Love is Blind UK. And listen, I was not disappointed.
If you're gonna do anything, it's pause your life for mess. It's gonna make sure you can tap into mess at any point.
No, I
That's
loved
actually
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Have you been watching?
I have been watching because you told me to.
Thank God.
Thank you for asking as if you didn't know.
Mhm.
Hunter kind of like forced me to lock in, but and I did. But for those of you who don't know, the premise of the show is you fall in love without meeting in person or seeing one another behind a wall. It's a really popular show in the US. I think it maybe exists in other countries as well, but now
Yes. So
we're
they're
in the UK.
they're international versions, but this is the first season that is like another English language season. That's not US.
Yeah. And we just are obviously hot off of not Love is Blind. We're hot off of Love Island.
You'll get there.
We're hot off of Love Island. So we needed something else to get our fix. So now we're here. Where I'm at, I didn't finish though. You finished. Of course you finished.
I'm up to date, of course.
Of course. You're always off book. But where I'm at, there are all the couples. And once you agree to get engaged, you are allowed to see each other, meet in person, and then you go to a destination island. They went to
Corfu, Greece.
Hunter's there waiting for them, actually. She's now the host of the show. But that would be the way I find out. I like turn on my TV. I'm like, that's why you went to Greece. But they had all just met in person for the first time. So there was like, a little bit of conflict between people who had dated each other, trying to meet for the first time and navigating those, what do you call it? Love triangle-y situations. And then specifically that one couple, Benihana and what is his name?
Oh, Benaya and Nicole.
Benaya and Nicole, that Eat, Pray, Love granola couple. I hated them at the jump. I turned
Okay, good.
I turned a new leaf because she made the wrong call.
Yeah, she made the wrong call.
She made the wrong call.
There are, I think, 6 couples this season on like Love is Blind UK, which is great because we've definitely, I don't know if you, but we made it through the wilderness in some of the US seasons where there was only one couple, Milton and Lydia, and that was not great. But no, so I will say favorite couples for me right now are Nicole and Benaya. Nicole, this is also a spoiler alert. Nicole made a bad decision and she like almost fell for maybe the worst man to ever set foot on Netflix in general. I'm talking about Netflix, which includes Dahmer. Like that's how bad this man is. And then she took it back and she's like, just kidding. I want to be with Benaya. Benaya is so sweet. And I have a lot of empathy for him because he does kind of seem like that guy who like says all the wrong things, but like doesn't understand what a woman is like asking.
Yeah.
Like Nicole is clearly asking him, how serious are we? Do you want to continue talking? And he's like, oh yeah, I like you. Like, yeah, you're cool. I don't really want to make any commitments, and it's like, oh, they're like ships passing the night.
Yeah.
Like she's saying like, give me reassurance. And he's like not following what she's asking for in the moment.
And I will say, if I had to choose between a man with a man bun and what is his name? The evil one? Sam. Man bun all the way. Like that's how evil that man is if I'm like fighting for the man with a man bun.
The only thing though, Benaya needs a bob.
A bob?
He needs a bob. He needs to cut that hair like down here. I think it would do a lot for him. It would do a lot for him. But he and Nicole, I think, are matching each other's freaks because did you see when they met in person and they both had like bracelets down? I'm thinking like Eras Tour level of
they went to Burning Man together.
Like hair ties, beads, like just all kinds of stuff. I was like, oh.
Leather. I can't stand that shit.
I was like really like Captain Jack Sparrow along that man's wrist. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Okay, and then my other couple that I love, I can't remember their names, but like the couple where the woman is from Belfast.
The Belfast
Irish
girl?
Yes.
I was just gonna say I fast forward through all their scenes.
No.
I don't, because I'm not really there for like love.
I know, but this is the one couple that I'm like, wait, they're so cute together. I want them to be together forever. Maybe also because I just think she's like seems really nice. And also he has a sexy voice. So
sorry, I just fell asleep when you described someone as nice, and that was the only adjective that you were using. That you can't describe someone as just nice. She needs more than
I'll tell you, she's nice, and she would be a good floor partner if you had to be a resident assistant at a small liberal arts college in the Northeast. She would do all of the bulletin boards. She would do all the bulletin boards and not complain about it.
Yep, she'd do all the work.
She would cover all of your shifts. And if you had to bust a party, she would act like she didn't see alcohol just so that you could like get through the paperwork faster.
Oh, okay, fine. But I still fast forward, and I still will continue to fast forward through their scenes. It's too slow, is too much for me.
Okay,
They're too dry.
I need to take your temperature though on another couple.
Take me there. Hope you are.
Ollie and Demi.
All right. Right now, it's not looking great. Where I'm at now, It's not looking good.
Because I think Love is Blind and Tyler Perry movies kind of like are a Venn diagram that's a circle of looking for a light-skinned man who is ready to cheat.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually want to say that Hunter just said bisexual instead of biracial, and that's what you meant. And that's a gay agenda. So just I want to hold space for that.
don't
Thank you.
out me. I'm an ally. Love is love. Anyway,
At least he doesn't have a little earring like Batiste. Batiste. Oh, that's how you know a true evil man is one dangly earring.
Yes, no. Like Ollie, when I first saw Ollie, I said, oh, this is Barty's boots. This is Barty's boots. This is also, oh my gosh, what was that one couple from Charlotte? Jarrett and Ayana. Where Ayana is so sweet and like so loving, kind of got on my nerves, but a lot of people loved her. And Jarrett was like, simply like, oh, here we go. Like whenever it was his wedding day and he's like, put my jersey in the rafters. Like I'm hanging up my like going out shoes, my little going out Chelsea boots. I was like, get a grip.
Okay, real quick moment for like all of these names are like almost names. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost a name. And then it's like Jarrett. It's like what? It's so just know that it makes sense. If you're listening and it makes sense to you, then you're operating on a higher level. But I will say I want to hold hope for Ollie and Demi. I do. Because I want her to win. She needs a win. I want her shoulders back, titties up, walk in that room, girl, with your, what do we call butts in badongas? Or he said, I saw that badonga when she turned around.
You sound like Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm so sorry.
It's not the first time I've heard that in my life.
That's so, do the face.
No, I can't do that. I take it back.
Anyway.
I want her to have a win. I want her to have some confidence.
I'm so thrilled that I get to share the information with you. Sorry, spoiler alert. They become my favorite couple.
Really?
They become the couple that I have the most confidence in. And the way that turn happens, I won't spoil it for you.
Okay.
But they do, at least where we are right now in the episodes, they are in a very stable, very sweet place. And I did not see it coming.
Wait, love. Okay,
I know. They are like on my, like if I had to make a Mount Rushmore of Love is Blind couples, they would be up there.
Do you like that guy that looks like a Ken doll and the woman who also dated Ollie?
Freddie and
Catherine. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you like them?
No.
Okay.
No. And I don't because they're boring to me. Like even their drama is boring.
Yeah.
But in a kind of funny way. It is it's sweet to me that Freddie like seems like genuinely a nice person and Kat really does seem like she's just like she doesn't even seem like obsessed with Ollie even. She's just sort of like annoyed with Freddie. And it's like, well, you guys don't have to get married. Like, just so you know, it's
like that's not part of the contract. Like, it's okay.
You can back out. You can say no. Yeah. So I can't wait to see them say no at the altar because I think that's definitely going to happen.
I will say my favorite, not couple, but my favorite person on the show so far is, we don't have her anymore, but she was a girl in the pods who they constantly cut to. She was so beautiful, but she never said anything.
She'll be back. Yeah. She'll be back.
Oh.
Yeah, not in a, she just comes back and like, she looks hot.
And she says nothing.
She says nothing. And everyone is like, oh my gosh, wait, she's so pretty. All the men are like, she's so pretty. She's and gorgeous. All the women are like, we know.
But she's quiet. Yeah.
And see, that's what I've always said. That's who I want to be if I had to be in Love is Blind. I would always want to be like a fan favorite man, second choice. I come back, I like pop in and out a few times. People are like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. And like, oh my God, her smile is perfect. Why didn't we choose her?
But you're not that demure. You're actually someone who wants to cause a little bit of mess. You have to get a few lines in.
Yeah,
you can't just be a cut-to
sprinkle in
face.
some like salt and pepper into the drama pot.
I see that for you.
Yeah,
next season.
Yeah. Well, let me say this: Ollie and Demi would be a Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan movie in 1999 or 2002, whichever. Like, they are my favorite couple. I want everything for them, and I can't wait to see them say yes to the altar and be happily ever after.
Can I ask you like a really radical and brave question?
Be careful.
You're like, no, actually don't. Do you think that love is blind?
I don't know. What is it? Ayana fix my life? No, I don't know.
That sigh was giving Hunter needs to finish reading emotionally adult children of emotionally immature parents. That's what that
I did find a new therapist though, so talk to me next week.
Oh,
maybe I'll have a different answer.
Okay, thank God.
All right, bitch. Do you think love is blind?
No. I'm looking. My eyes are wide open. Sorry. Love is not blind. Love is like maybe doesn't have great. Love has my vision, like 4.75, negative 4.75, negative 4.5. That's how love looks. It's a little, gotta squint. Can't really see far away. But you need to look. You need to see.
Okay, get your ass to Warby Parker.
I need an eye exam, actually. I hate that I outed myself as having bad vision. Fuck. Well, that's it for this week. As usual, we are 2 online, so you don't have to be.
I need 30 seasons of Love is Blind UK on my desk by Friday.
Remember to keep it demure. Very mindful, very demure.
And it's not mindful and not demure for Blake Lively. Sorry, call us coming from inside the house on that one.
Let me